Today we will reading Chitamat Kataprana Budayantas Parashparam Katayantas Samam Nityam Kusyanita Naman. Then comes the next one. Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Tesham Satatam Yuktanam Bhajatam Kritikam Dadati Yogantam Yenamang Bayantite. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Actually, we like to read the Bhagavatam in the morning, but we got this new book of Bhagavatam Gitamrita, so we just wanted to make a case to read through it and get it all a little bit deep into our heart. So this third verse of Shloki Bhagavad Gita goes Tesham Satatam Yuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhiyogantam Yenamam Upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love, I continue to bestow upon them devotional inspiration by which they may come to me. To those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love, I continue to bestow upon them devotional inspiration by which they may come to me. It's very surprising how such a verse can be interpreted impersonal. But some other they manage, no? Because they read the Gita mostly, but what will they say when they read a verse like this? Devoted, dedicated with love, I will inspire them how they can come to me. It is so personal, and in the Sanskrit, it's Krishna uses mam, to me. It's a reference to a person. Mam. Yena mam upayantite. This is to me. So somebody is speaking here. Who is that? To what is he referred? Has to be very serious. Has to be very serious. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Sridhar explains. I would just read his explanation and Maharaj can speak. In this verse, the Lord says, the highest group of my servitors, whose sentiment was described in the previous verse by the word Ramanti, are those who are constantly engaged, Satatam Yukta, in my service, in concerthood, Madhurya Rasa, with heartfelt love, Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. This is beautiful. He is pointing out these are the words used in Madhurya Lila. This is not just, hello, I like you. No, this is a very deep love. Then he says that he will give them further instructions, inspirations, or inner instruction by which they can come to him. Yenamam upayanti te. Already in this and in the previous verse, the devotee's service to the Lord has been described as eternal by the words Nityam and Satatam Yukta. So Lord Krishna's statement that he will give them further inspiration by which they can come to him appears to be redundant. Therefore, in is the expression mam upayanti te, they will come to me. The word upayanti must be defined as parakiya bhavena, upapati. Pati means husband and upapati means paramour. Of course, such thing only somebody could translate. If he's a great Sanskrit expert, he can understand this inner meaning. For those who have already come into divine relationship with me as a wife, as my wife, Ramanti, I give them a special inspiration to come to me as a paramour, upapati. In Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is not considered a lawful husband, but he is the Lord of the heart, transcendental to even the husbands. Parakiya rasa, deceiving their husbands, the gopis of Vrindavan unite with Krishna. They do not allow a second party to come between them and Krishna. They cannot allow the interception of even scriptural regulations and social law, because Krishna's position is absolute and such a relationship is more relishable to him. This is Vrindavana Bhajana, and this is the meaning of upapati. My relationship with them is independent of everything conceivable. It crosses law, society, scripture, everything. It is most innate and natural, and it does not require any social or scriptural sanction. I say to them, you may show formal respect to all these restrictions and live in the society, but from the heart of your heart, you are mine. This is a special inspiration and insight I give to those devotees. Yena mamupayanti te. That was when Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj talked with each other. Then the point was that Srila Sridhar Maharaj was saying, I can read the call from Parakiya Ras Baba even in the Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken on the battlefield. No? So it's a very confidential inner meaning of something, which only devotees can see. For those persons, I give the inspiration that they may follow the path of the gopis of Vrindavan, who risk everything only to get my company, which is considered both unholy and holy. They have severed their connection from everything, have desperately thrown themselves at me. I ask these people to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. That is the highest attainment, without caring for anything good or bad. Exclusive attention in my service is the highest type of devotion. To give me, to catch me, by this type of devotion, I'm caught in their fist, sajjana, arya, patam. They risk everything, good or bad, even the divine advice which is given by me for a particular section on the lower level. Externally, there are social and scriptural demands, but my position is over and above them. The Vedas are my instructions for the benefit of the masses who have deviated from me, and the society is also under the jurisdiction of those general instructions given to the public by me. But my divine relationship with everything is intrinsic and independent. It does not require recognition from anyone. Such relationship is the highest. You see, Krishna is teaching Dharma, no? But then he's teaching here something higher. It is a constant. It supersedes all law and society, which are guided by the Vedas. Rather, all the Vedas are searching for such a thing. Shruttivir vimringyam, vishesham mrigya. The Vedas are searching after the ideal divine position. In the section in the Srimad Bhagavatam which deals with Rasa Lila, the Vedas are begging forgiveness. We are generally supposed to give tidings of you, but we could not describe you as we now experience you here. Now we understand that we have committed an offense because we could not distribute this Rasa Lila, this Braja Lila to the people. Like signposts, all the revealed scriptures are only showing the direction. But where, how, we don't know. Only in this direction it may be available. Anywhere and everywhere, everything belongs to him. For one who knows this, all possibilities of sensual pleasures and exploitations are uprooted. For example, an unmarried woman may have the possibility of being approached by many, but there's less possibility for those who are married because they are possessed by someone. Similar, when we are able to know that everything is only for the satisfaction of Krishna, then we shall realize that all our exploiting tendencies have vanished forever. Nothing will remain to be utilized for the pleasure of our sensual experience. It will be very deeply felt in our hearts that everything has its existence only for his satisfaction. There's no room for any other exploitation. We are also included there. Our existence is also only for his satisfaction. Everything is meant for his divine pastimes, lila. And there is no possibility for any other pastimes. All are included in that one lila. Encroachment will disappear when we learn to proper utility of everything. He is the owner. And his ownership is absolute. The scriptures, society, and law designate this is yours, this is another's, or that belongs to a third party. This is something like a temporary lease, but the permanent ownership is in all respects with him. All others, possessors and property, masters and servants, are all relative and only sanctioned by him for the time being. The absolute owner, possessor and enjoyer is he alone. When we arrive at such a conclusion, only then is complete purification of our hearts possible. Everyone is thinking of themselves as many masters of many things, but this is all heart disease, rit rogam. This is all conceived in a diseased state of consciousness. In a healthy state, when the heart is quite wholesome, we can see the supreme whole, and we can see that everything is meant only for his satisfaction. Vikriditam vrajavadubir idam chavishnu shadanvito nushnuyat atavarnayat ya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabdya kaman rit rogam ashvabahinoti achire nadira. A self-controlled person who, having become endowed with sublime faith in the divine pastimes transcendently enjoyed by Lord Krishna with the gopis, Rasa Lila, and who, having heard those divine pastimes from the lotus mouth of the bona fide Guru, continuously sings or narrates these glories, such a person swiftly achieves the most elevated form of pure devotion for the Lord, and is promptly able to ward off the heart disease of lust. Jai Sri Radhe. Srimad Bhagavatam.
What was the last sentence?
A self-controlled person who, having been endowed with sublime faith in the divine pastimes transcendently enjoyed by Lord Krishna with the gopis, and who, having heard those divine pastimes from the lotus mouth of a bona fide Guru, continuously sing or narrate these glories, such a person swiftly achieves the most elevated form of pure devotion for the Lord, and is promptly able to ward off the heart disease of lust. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-39. This verse was often quoted by Sridhar Narayan.
10:33. 10:33.
Yes.
Then
39.
39.
Shraddhanvita Anushrinyatira. These three qualifications are necessary to approach higher things. Shraddha, out of regard. Then Anushrinuyat, from a proper source. Through a proper source you must come in contact with the higher substance. And the third, Dhira. You must have self-control and not be slave of the senses. In the In his writings, Srila Jiva Goswami has laid stress on the word dhira, meaning self-controlled. To hear these elevated subjects, one must enter into the culture of sense control. Otherwise, he will be destroyed. Then such a careful approach will give you nectar. Naitat samachare jatu manushapi hi anishvala vinashyati acharan maudya yata rudro badiyam visham. One should never even think of imitating this behavior of the Supreme Lord and the gopis. If out of gross foolishness one tries to imitate the pastimes of the Lord, he will be utterly destroyed, just as if he tried to imitate Lord Shiva by drinking the poison which arose from the ocean. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33, 30, from the same area. Shiva drank poison, but that was ornamental to his throat. Otherwise, if anyone drinks poison without being Shiva, he is sure to die. Krishna Lila is nectar. In the highest, Krishna Lila is nectar to the honest approacher, and the imitator is doomed by the same thing. The same law protects the honest and suppresses the dishonest. A proper approach will be like nectar, and by an improper approach, it will create fresh offenses and keep us down. Wow. Srila Bhakti Rakhak Srila Deva Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Please.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukhaṁ karoti vachalam pangum langayati girim jat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Misaram. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, very wonderful and very important verse which we are discussing today. Machitta, no, what was that? Tesham Shatata Yuktanam Bhajatam Pratipurvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamu Payantite. So, normally we say that this devotee, when I became a devotee, but being a devotee is something different, and we are just wearing the devotional cloth unless we go ahead with our heart. Just by wearing a cloth of 1,000 rupees and putting tilak doesn't make us devotee. Because yes, if Bhagavad Maharaj, Bhakti Swarup Bhagavad Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada comes to me and ask me, Padmanabh, how is your bhakti going on? How are you doing? And I say, well, Gurudev, is going on. He is none. No. Tesam satata yuktanam. All the time. Satata means all the time. Not sometime. Is sometime, well, I feel to chant. Sometime I chant. Sometime I don't feel to chant, it's okay, I keep it aside. And I sometimes I feel to read Srila Prabhupada book, I go through Prabhupada book. That is no record at the end of the day what I have done, what service I have done. This means we are just surfing on the bhakti level. Yes, that is surfing and that is deep driving. Surfing means just to go over the sea level. You know, there are many people likes to travel on the boat over the sea, and they enjoy the waves coming up and down and like that. But yes, there are some devotees who, sorry, there are some people who likes to go inside the sea and with oxygen cylinder, very heavy thing to sustain maybe 24 hours, 48 hours inside the sea, and they find many valuable things and inside the sea. Although it's very difficult to understand what is going on under the water, but still there are some person who goes inside the sea. It's called deep driving. So for us, if we are surfing on the bhakti level, it doesn't help. We have to go deep inside the bhakti. Sometime chanting, sometime reading, no, it won't work. Even we are chanting or not, we are reading or not, we have to develop love for Krishna. If we chant with love, then it will work. Otherwise, mechanically pronouncing Hare Krishna is something like a machine. In many temples, you will see in Vrindavan also, they have their Aarti machine. Have you seen? They will switch it on and then tang, 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 tang. So many sound. And I have seen there are sound of console also. They have that console sound also. Oh, it will continue. Then stop after 1 minute, then again like that. So they have everything, but everything is mechanical. They don't have their heart. But we should give our heart. How to give our heart? Because when Krishna is saying, Tesam satata yuktanam, always engage in my devotional service. Always, satata, always engage in my devotional service. Bhajatam priti purvakam. And how he does his sadhana? Priti purvakam, with love. Every acharya has one special quality. You know the special quality of your Guru Maharaj? What is the special quality?
They make all good. Also they make all happy. ¿Cómo se dice? Como que él es, como que él nunca, o sea, como que él nunca hace sentir bien a todos.
But that is saying that he can make everyone happy.
Yes, that is a part of his quality. But what I felt the most, and he loves everyone. And he makes everyone to love. Here's the technique. Like in ISKCON also, Prabhupada's disciples all have some certain qualities. Gopal Krishna Swami, he has quality to distribute books, Srila Prabhupada's book. Jayapadaka Swami, he distribute Gaurnita's Prem. So we have our Paramadaiti Swami, he distribute loves and he knows how to love. Is really is when we don't see him for 1 or 2 days, don't communicate. I am not saying to praise him, but is natural. Anyway, our discussion point is something else. So the thing is, bhajatam priti purvakam. With love, we have to do our devotional service. It's not just performing, cooking and offering bhoga chanting Namo Vishnupadaya, Namo Mahabhadanaya. No, you have to have the feeling that yes, we have cooked for Krishna, and Krishna, we are offering the food stuff to Krishna. We are dressing the Krishna's deity. We are garlanding Krishna's deity with great love. And if we do not have that love, is nothing will work. And what will happen if we do all these things? Satata yuktanam, always engage in his service, and bhajatam priti purvakam. If we do our sadhana with love, what will happen? Dadati buddhi yogam tam. Krishna will give us the intelligence. Krishna will give up the intelligence. Dadati buddhi yogam tam yeno mamupayantite, so that he can come back to me. This we will be awarded. So what we have to do is deep driving in bhakti. That is satata yuktanam. Two formulas in this sloka Krishna is giving. Satatam, always engage. Not 2 hours, 3 hours we engage ourselves in Krishna's service. Rest of the day, yes. Amal Dada, what is there in the bhoga? What are you going to cook? Sandhya, what are you going to cook not today? No, you cannot ask. Well, after offering, you can ask what is there in the prasadam. And if it is sweet for your stomach or your body, then you can. But after the offering, before the offering, what you are going to cook today, of course the temple authority has the right to give them the direction. But not all the devotees for sense enjoyment. Because if we enjoy the thing already, if we know that today this palatable dishes, this cake is going to be offered to Krishna, Krishna is not going to accept, because we have already enjoyed it. As the moment we ask Sandha Mataji, what is there is cake, and we are gone. Krishna is not going to accept. And Krishna doesn't see how much we are offering to Krishna. What Krishna sees, how much we are keeping for ours. How much we are keeping for ourselves. Krishna's vision is in that. So, bhajatam priti purvakam means to render devotional service with love. How? Which kind of love? Like the mother has for the child. Means the mother will stay awake for the whole night almost. Sometimes she will sleep. But she can stay awake for the whole night for the sake of the child. Otherwise she cannot stay. So that love she has, Vatsalya Prem, she has that love. And for that she can stay awake for a long time, even in the night, in the daytime. And that love, if we have for Krishna, to sacrifice, and how we will know that we are developing love, it is mentioned in 10:33-39, what Maharaj said in Bhagavatam. I have to go and check. This kind of devotional service will bring us out of lust. It is also described in Bhagavad Gita. There are 3 doors for the hell, for going to hell. How many doors you are having in Vrinda Kunj to enter inside?
The main gate.
Yes, 2 main gates. In Yamuna Kunj also 2 main gates. But in Jagannath Puri there are 4 main gates. Yes, east, west, north, south. There are 4 main gates in Jagannath Puri. So in different houses they have different gates. In my house where I lived in my childhood, I was having 3 gates. to enter into hell, there are 3 gates. And that is Kam, Krodh, Love. Yes, lust, anger and greed. And if we are maintaining this and doing the sadhana also at the same time, it is very difficult. Because crossing Ganga, Ganga river, when Ganga is meeting the sea, ocean, is Haldia, Ganga Sagar, it is very difficult. It is not possible at all. But still, even if it is possible, if one ties a metal pot, big metal pot on his neck full of water on his neck, is it possible? No. So to cross this material world is impossible. And even if it is possible also, if we tie these 3 things, lust, anger and greed in our heart, and try to overcome this material world, not possible. Krishna didn't say, well, sometime bhakti, sometime also sense enjoyment. No sense enjoyment at all. But this formula is not for everyone. There is a certain stage in which you can attain. You cannot just move into a higher planet. No, you have to go step by step. In the Shastra is also mentioned that one has to maintain his proper ashram. Ashram doesn't mean Vrinda kunja, Yamuna kunja or Vangshi kunja. No, ashram doesn't mean that. Ashram means brahmachari ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprasthi, sannyasi. So sometime what happened, devotees are in one ashram, but they are actually not in that ashram. They are following some other ashram. By this cloth they are in sannyas ashram. Or by cloth they are in brahmachari ashram. So if someone is grihastha, or willing to become grihastha, then he can enter into grihastha life, and for him something is relaxed with the permission of their Guru Maharaj, but not everything. Law is same for all. So, but if one is following completely renounced order of life, and then if he is not able to think of Krishna always, or if one is in brahmachari stage and doesn't follow this rule, which rule we are discussing today? Which formula we are discussing, which Krishna has prescribed? Bhima Prabhu.
Give up everything.
What formula we are discussing today?
He's saying Krishna.
Satata yuktanam. Always engage ourselves. Always engage. Satata yuktanam. And second formula is bhajatam priti purvakam. To worship with love. These 2 formula with always engagement and with love. Then we can conquer lust, anger, greed. Yes.
I find it very amazing that Krishna, the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita, he's world famous by Prabhupada's influence, but even before Prabhupada, Krishna was world famous as the God of love. Everything connected with Krishna is love. The gopis, the gopas, Vatsalya, Ras, childhood, everything, love, 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 love. So that is basically accepted. Like we never speak about the love between Lakshmi and Narayan. Of course, Lakshmi is always at Narayan's lotus feet massaging.
Yes.
They are obviously a very wonderful couple. Also Shiva and Parvati, they're also having very great love. We hear more stories about that love and how they can sometimes get separated and then they unite again very dramatically. So, but in the case of Lord Krishna, more than Lord Rama, who is Ekpativrata, Mayada
Maryada Purushottam.
Lord Krishna is famous for his dalliances with the gopis. And that is absolutely not acceptable by Vedic culture. That man will meet with a woman of somebody else in the dark of night and dancing or whatever. No, it's not accepted. It's not accepted. But in the case of Krishna, everybody's invited in one way. So much that in the case of Krishna, we are told, even the rules and regulations of the scriptures, forget about them when Krishna calls you with his flute. Don't become then, oh no, sorry Krishna, you're making a nice invitation, but I think you forgot what you said in the Dharma Shastras. No, Krishna's beyond all that. And that beyondness of Krishna, that is so unique. It's like, and then what does it mean, or what we are talking? That the total dedication, the total dedication to the point of risking one's good name and fame, or his position, because some gopis were not able to go to Krishna. Husband caught them and locked them in a room. So they had to go in their spiritual body, they had to leave there because their body could not go, they were locked. I mean, there's so many descriptions there. The point is that Krishna is beyond the law and he is the lover of everybody. And that love is the highest of all things we can consider. And this belongs to Krishna. All the rights reserved to Lord Krishna. And everything else which goes away from there, it becomes egotism, lust, greed, all nonsense things develop in us. So the cure of our disease is the highest love. Not like the Mayavadis say, the cure of the highest disease is to stop being involved with everything, become zero. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Amazing. Startling. And that's in the Bhagavad Gita. Because in the Srimad Bhagavatam we hear more about this, a description of Rasa Lila and so. But in the Gita, this is not so often mentioned. But Srila Bhakti Rakshakshira is able to extract such a high meeting inside of the verses where Lord Krishna speaks. Because last not least, Krishna is the one, came from Vrindavan, went to Mathura, went to Dwarka, and then went to Kurukshetra. We heard from our acharyas that actually the original Krishna always stays in Vrindavan. He never goes. Nevertheless, the Kurukshetra Krishna is connected. People will make a connection. Oh, he's the boy. He's the one who was the boy in Vrindavan and playing with everybody. So, this is the amazing story. Questions? Ask any question.
Hay personas musulmanas que pueden decir que esta si la obra Kichor das Babayis. Entonces puede decir que nosotros también podemos tomar una línea de Babayis porque nosotros tenemos también un maestro Babayi. Y lo que yo he escuchado es que nosotros no debemos ir por esa línea como Babayi. ¿Qué argumento podría uno decir allí?
He's asking that we can also go the Babaji way because we also have Babajis in our way, in our Sampradaya, Gokishodas Babaji, Jagannathas Babaji. Well, first of all, here is not a question of Babaji or Sannyasi. This is not at all. That is a question which was introduced previously, before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by those Babajis of Radha Kunda and maybe in Bengal who didn't take up the preaching proper. they became somewhat imitationists. There was a lot of sahajaism in that. So it was not inspiring. As a matter of fact, the people wanted to forget about it, and they were not going that way of spirituality. So the Babaji or not Babaji is not the point, because a Babaji is a sannyasi. It is one of the sannyasi forms, and we have had 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Look, they are Babajis. I mean, they don't run with dandas, but they're writing books, making temples, preaching left and right, and that's what the Babajis in Radhakunda did not do. They were just whatever they were doing, but they were not doing the work of the 6 Goswamis, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati when he took up. So nowadays we have Babajis in our line. We have some, and we don't make a discrimination. Sometimes Babaji is given to an old man who can't move around anymore very much. And also to purify the understanding, to not think, oh, the Babaji is a higher way, you have to go to Radhakunda for that. No, it's not. You can be a Babaji in Mayapur, you can be a Babaji in another place for preaching as well. So in that sense, we cannot make those the Babajis and the sannyasis. No, it's not like that. I was personally present when Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj gave, I think, 10 or 15 sannyasis, and 2 of them were Babajis. 2 of them, he gave them Babaji. Mathura Das Babaji Maharaj, for example, a very active Babaji in Radhakunda, who is disciple of Srila. Actually, I don't know who he took sannyas from, but Govinda Maharaj, he took sannyas from Srila Puri Maharaj.
Also, there
you
are.
Want to add something to that?
Yes. It doesn't matter whether we are Babaji, Sannyasi, Brahmachari or Grihastha. Every ashram is bona fide, but we have to follow according to our spiritual master. When we accept a spiritual master and he says that Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnanina tattadvarsina. So we have to surrender unto our Guru Maharaj, and according to his advice we have to work. So it doesn't matter whether we follow Babaji Sampradaya or we follow Sannyas Sampradaya. No, so it's not like that. I have seen when Maharaj was not here, he was in the West, Madhav Krishna was organizing some bhandara, and I think I will remember for the whole life. Some Babajis, they came and they started shouting at him, and why did you give sannyasis 100 rupees and why did you give Babajis 50 rupees? No, this discrimination is not proper. And he was with folded hand. And at that time, I knew that they were not invited also, not even invited also. Otherwise, I would have said something. And finally, I came to know they were not invited. So, I am not criticizing Babaji. Even a sannyasi is going to Bhandara just to eat and take money is not correct. So one has to follow the instruction of a spiritual master first, and if a spiritual master give them Babaji Diksha, then you can accept Babaji Diksha. Otherwise, Sannyas Diksha or Grihastha Ashram, Vanaprasthi Ashram, Brahmachari Ashram. So following the instruction of Guru Maharaj is most important.
Gita Amrita ki jai.